The ocean is the lifeblood of our planet, and its secret holds the key to our future. Hello and welcome to Nimasa This Week, the program that brings to fore hidden treasures in the maritime sector, both home and abroad. This episode is the first in the month of July, which marks the beginning of the second half of the year. I remain your anchor, Moyioluwa Olutayo. Let the voyage begin.
Introducing the new face of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa. We are charting the direction for a maritime and regulating the industry for a better, bigger, and more economically stable Nigeria. Evolved to serve you better. We are Nimasa. New face, rejuvenated service. Nimasa, changing the tides in your favor.
Welcome back. The program is still Nimasa This Week. Moving on. The Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy on Thursday, July 3rd, 2025, held a citizens and stakeholders engagement for the ministry and its agencies with the theme, Strengthening Collaboration for Effective Implementation of the National Policy on Marine and Blue Economy. Stay tuned with us as we bring you the full report.
The Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy recently hosted its second quarter stakeholders engagement under the theme Strengthening Collaborations for Effective Implementation of the National Policy on Marine and Blue Economy. The event, which held in Lagos, had in attendance, amongst others, the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola CON, the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, Mr. Olufemi Oloruntola, and the Nimasa DG CEO, Dr. Dayo Mubiriola. Delivering the welcome address, the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Olufemi Oloruntola, spoke on the fact that the meeting would serve as a platform for reflection on the performance of the ministry to date and provide for forward planning.
This meeting serves as a platform for stewardship, reflection, and forward planning, where we share what has been done, what is ongoing, and the path ahead. As part of the proceedings, we will provide updates on the core mandates of the ministry, recorded achievements, implementation challenges, and the strategic focus for the future. These presentations are intended to ensure that you are fully updated and on board with us.
The keynote address was delivered by the Honorable Minister, Adegboyega Oyetola, who spoke on the importance of the national policy, which was crafted to provide a strategic framework for harnessing these assets sustainably and inclusively.
The approval of the national policy on marine and blue economy by the Federal Executive Council marks a critical turning point, providing a comprehensive framework to unlock value across our marine ecosystems. This policy encompasses port infrastructure, maritime security, aquaculture, ocean governance, marine biotechnology, renewable energy, coastal tourism, and climate resilience. Our gathering today is not ceremonial. It is a working forum designed to develop a strategic roadmap for implementation.
Also speaking at the event was the former president of the Nigerian Ship Owners Association, who currently serves as the president of the Nigerian Chamber of Shipping, Alhaji Aminu Umar. He expressed his appreciation for the role of the ministry in developing the maritime sector and the Nigerian economy as a whole.
We congratulate you, Your Excellency, for putting together this policy document. I believe it will go a long way in unlocking a lot of potentials in the maritime industry. Let me say also, NCS and ICS are open to work with the ministry on seeing how we can untap this, unlock most of these potentials that are there. I would like to say there is a lot of potentials there, sir, that are not being untapped. And Nigeria being a very big country, particularly in the West African zone, we believe that there is a lot of things we can do, particularly in the shipping side.
We believe that this is a fantastic initiative. We think this policy is well thought through, and it is in strong support of the economic policies of the government and the ambition of His Excellency, the President's ambition to make Nigeria a $1 trillion economy.
I believe that organizing this second quarter citizens and stakeholders engagement is very, very genuine and important because number one, just like they said, it's meant to bring collaboration. It's meant to help us with implementation. You know what the Bible says? Make the vision plain, write it down so that those that see it might run with it. Sitting in that hall, they are making the vision plain to us. We've downloaded the policy. We're listening to the proponent of the policy so that we all can key in and help to not only articulate but to achieve that mandate.
The ministry has really carried out this process transparently, bringing the stakeholders to work on the document that was initially presented through a technical session, and we have all contributed towards the development of this document for so many years. I would say for the 20 years I have been in this sector, we have never had any policy direction. And we're happy that today we have a direction that we all agree upon as the way to go in advancing our blue economy.
The National Policy on Marine and Blue Economy is a transformative blueprint promising a future where maritime assets become pivotal to job creation, inclusive growth, and sustainable development. However, a policy, no matter how comprehensive, must translate into visible action, measurable outcomes, and prosperity for all people.
Introducing the new face of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa. We are charting the direction for a maritime and regulating the industry for a better, bigger, and more economically stable Nigeria. Evolved to serve you better. We are Nimasa. New face, rejuvenated service. Nimasa, changing the tides in your favor.
Still on Nimasa this week, and we are back in the capital city of Abuja. The inauguration of the Nimasa board members took place in Abuja at the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy by the Honorable Minister, His Excellency Adegboyega Oyetola, CON. The newly inaugurated board is saddled with the responsibility of ensuring good governance, implementation policy, and strategic decision-making. Stay tuned as we bring you the full report.
The Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola, has inaugurated the governing board of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa, urging them to provide strategic oversight towards the effective discharge of the agency's statutory functions. Addressing the board members during their inauguration at the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, Oyetola charged the board members to view their appointment as an opportunity to steer Nimasa to greater heights in alignment with national interests and the agency's core mandate.
Today's inauguration of the board is not merely symbolic. It represents a renewed opportunity to steer the agency in a direction that aligns with our national aspirations. I must emphasize that the decisions and policies of this board must be guided by national interests and directed towards the betterment of Nigeria and the advancement of our economy. Your appointment by the president is not by chance. It is rooted in sound, calculated reasoning and a trust in your capability to captain one of the most important agencies in our dear nation.
Speaking further, Oyetola reminded the board that their primary responsibility is to provide strategic oversight as watchdogs without attempting to micromanage the executive management.
As board members, your role is to provide strategic direction, not to manage, but to guide, to question, and to uphold the values of transparency, accountability, and national service. You are to support the management team while holding them to the highest standard of performance.
On his part, the chairman of the board, Yusuf Hamisu Abubakar, while appreciating the confidence reposed in him and other members by the president and the minister, affirmed the board's commitment to work in total synergy with the agency's management to ensure strict adherence to its policy direction.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the task ahead is very clear. We are fully aware that Nimasa occupies a pivotal position in the actualization of Nigeria's economic diversification goal, particularly the enormous potential of our blue economy. As a board, we are resolute in our commitment to providing strategic oversight and guidance that will strengthen Nimasa's institutional capacity and drive performance. Honorable Minister, sir, we assure you, and through you, the general public, that this board will work in close synergy with the management and staff of Nimasa to foster a culture of transparency, professionalism, and innovation. We would work as one team, united by purpose and driven by result, to ensure that the vision of Mr. President for a prosperous and secure maritime domain is fully realized.
Earlier in his welcome address, the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, Olufemi Oloruntola, urged the board to uphold the trust reposed in them by the President and to discharge their oversight responsibilities with utmost integrity in order to contribute meaningfully to the overall growth of Nimasa.
The establishment of this board is integral to deepening the agency's governance, operational focus, and alignment with the vision of His Excellency, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, under the Renewed Hope agenda. With your appointment, a great deal of trust has been placed in your collective capacity to provide policy direction, oversight, and strategic guidance. You are stepping into a role that calls for clear vision, integrity, and service.
Members of the board include the chairman, Yusuf Hamisu Abubakar, the Director of Maritime Safety and Security at the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, Babatunde Bombata, Fidelis Lorcoso Agbe, Rear Admiral P.C. Nwatu, representing the Nigerian Navy, Architect Yunusa Yakubu, Emmanuel Nusakare Ibinosun from the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment, and Irogama Blessing Ogbeifun. The board also comprises key members of the executive management of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, including the Director General CEO, Dr. Dayo Mobiriola, the Executive Director of Finance and Administration, Honorable Chudi Ofodile, Executive Director Operations, Engineer Fatai Taye Adeyemi, and Executive Director, Maritime Labor and Cabotage Services, Mr. Jibril Abba.
It's been a beehive of activities in the capital city, where His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR declared open the 2025 Civil Service Week. The week-long conference took place from 20th June to 28th June 2025 with the theme Leveraging Technology for a Smart and Agile Public Service. Stay tuned for the full report. I'll be right back.
As part of its commitment to the Nigerian government and in line with its core values of excellence, teamwork, and commitment, the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa, joined other ministries, departments, and agencies in showcasing their mandates, innovations, and achievements at the recent International Civil Service Conference and Exhibition in Abuja. Notably, Nimasa highlighted the launch of its Maritime Labour e-platform, a significant stride towards digital transformation and enhanced service delivery in the maritime sector. Addressing the conference, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu emphasized the urgent need for innovation and digitization across MDAs, urging the head of the civil service and agencies like Nimasa to spearhead the drive to modernize processes. In her welcome address, the head of Civil Service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Esther Wilson-Jack, reinforced the need for innovation, describing the conference theme, Rejuvenate, Innovate, Accelerate, as more than a slogan, but a clear agenda to renew the spirit, skills, and structure of the civil service. The conference is expected to set the tone for renewed collaboration, accelerated innovation, and digital transformation across ministries, departments, and agencies, with a focus on strengthening service delivery and repositioning the public service to meet global standards.
Still on the program Nimasa this week, we appreciate all our esteemed viewers. We move on to the Nautical segment of the program, where we have in the studio our guests, Captain Sunday Umoren, the Secretary General of Abuja MOU, as we continue with the interview. Stay tuned. I'll be right back.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the good job you are doing at the Abuja MOU. Thank you for representing Nigeria very well. Now we're going to come to the subject of the blue economy. Now the federal government created the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy. How is Abuja MOU partnering with Nimasa and the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy to make Nigerians understand the essence of this ministry, because it talks about sustainable development and how to tap into these opportunities? What is the role that Abuja MOU is playing with Nimasa and, of course, with the ministry itself?
For you to have a proper assessment of that bit, first you look at the role, the strategic role of Nimasa, the strategic role of Abuja MOU as regards the blue economy sector. So for our own, the key thing is what? Enhancing compliance. You have conventions, IMO conventions, you have ILO conventions that vessels should comply with. The primary responsibility is on the flag state to ensure that their own vessels are compliant. However, we all know that there are different levels. Some flags are much relaxed than others. The MOU regime stands as that watchdog that ensures that, look, whatever your flag is, whichever country you are coming in from, whichever region you are coming in from, that standard is being maintained. So you look at that aspect again, we work on it to ensure that those conventions are complied with. And who handles that responsibility for us? It's Nimasa in Nigeria. So we move again to the fact, what's the total outcome? The outcome is to ensure that no substandard vessel is trading within the region. And then, of course, the further outcome will be what? Less accident and incident on board the vessel. So safety of life, guaranteed. The protection of marine environment is also guaranteed. The administrations now also have what we call operational leverage. What are they? Ensuring that they implement the regulatory framework. That's number one. And of course, championing capacity development. So we worked together. You see, when you talk about capacity development, pick up the blue economy. You talk about fisheries. You talk about maritime tourism. If the waters are polluted, will you really have fishermen going out there to fish? And so the enforcement aspect is key. The enforcement aspect is key. Nimasa will stand to say, as its flag state role, I will enforce all convention on our vessels. If you look at the number of vessels we have, compared to the number of foreign vessels coming in, you find out we have more foreign vessels visiting Nigeria than Nigerian-owned vessels. And thus, what platform does Nimasa have to ensure that vessels coming in are meeting that standard? Is a postal control regime. So together, we form that enforcement band that's, I mean, more like filtering, more like the police of the sea, to ensure that only vessels that will not unduly expose our environment are trading within our environment. And so that lends very strong support to the success of blue economy.
All right, so Nigeria is vying for the category C in the upcoming IMO coming elections. Now, how important is this bid for the country's maritime influence? And what role does Nimasa play in supporting this?
We have about 174 members, country in IMO, platform, lower level, everybody's there. However, you now notch up. So there's that reputational aspect. Category C members are more like, okay, they belong to that higher club. So it's a lot of things are being used to determine whether you will go there. Yes, it's going to be voted, but what level of comfort? It's not just about convincing a country to vote for you. They will also look at the things that are happening around your country, how safe your country is, how do you react to topical issues in the maritime sector. So that analysis will eventually lead the countries to be convinced. With respect to what Nimasa is doing, the alternate permanent representative in IMO is a Nimasa staff. And so he is flagging it. The DG, the minister, they are taking up all the steps. They've also consulted
even up to the presidency.
Up to the presidency.
Yes.
So we are all working for it. We are hoping that this time around we'll get it. And it's a good thing, like I said. And it will even spawn us to actually do more, you know, with respect to compliance with IMO conventions and the rest.
Thank you so very much, sir. So I've been speaking with Captain Sunday Umoren. He's the Secretary General of the Abuja MOU, and he has said to everyone out there that it's our responsibility to keep our environment safe. It's a joint effort. It's a teamwork. Nimasa, Abuja MOU, NPA, Customs, and of course the entire Nigeria. It's an effort for us to ensure that our environment is clean. And of course, the blue economy is still that new oil for us to tap into so that we can actually generate wealth and of course more job creations for our teeming youths in Nigeria. And to wrap on this segment, my name is Femi Kumuyi. I remain your host. Thank you.
Introducing the new face of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa. We are charting the direction for a maritime and regulating the industry for a better, bigger, and more economically stable Nigeria. Evolved to serve you better. We are Nimasa. New face, rejuvenated service. Nimasa, changing the tides in your favor.
What an interesting time it's been on the program today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for always being there. We appreciate all our esteemed viewers. As we continue to sail in the second half of the year, let me leave you with this quote from Thomas Carlyle. A man without a goal is like a ship without a rudder. Food for thought. Until we meet again on the same platform next week at same time, keep sailing towards your destination. Bon voyage.